Welcome to a Delco Nerd Network hot take. Guys, if you haven't seen a hot take before, well, it's where a few friends get in a basement, give our thoughts, give our opinions on a TV show, a movie, or a game. Today, it's going to be a movie, and that movie is Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Here to discuss, as always, the triple threat. Chris Trio.
Shazam, Gooch.
Shazam, indeed.
You did it perfectly. That's exactly what I was hoping you'd say. Continue.
Shazam, indeed. My name, of course, is Anthony the Gooch Ragucci, and we're here to discuss a movie that really doesn't matter all that much. Shazam.
So I'll start this out by, it should only matter to itself, though. That's how movies should be. And it did, and you didn't feel. So, disclaimer off the top, I went to see Shazam yesterday. I was about 10 minutes in, maybe. How deep do you think I was in?
I think you were like 15 to 20 minutes
Maybe at the most.
Yeah.
Like 20 tops. But, yeah, I got a migraine right in the smack, so I couldn't finish the film. So, I got, about 10 minutes of it. We thought we'd still sit down and discuss. I wanted to hear Gooch's thoughts.
Yeah, because honestly, guys, I don't think you need to go see this movie, so this is very advantageous for you.
Really?
And not to say the movie is bad. I think it's just so fine. It's like mid. You know, it's just like...
It's just a movie.
This is like a high-tier flick.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I've been hearing from people I like, they've been like, it's good. Like, but it's not like it's
good.
not like
I think there's a lot
it's not anything like mind blowing.
Like though. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. Again, it's kind of generic. I think it rushed a lot of plot lines. Like, it was really cool to see the Shazam family at the end of Shazam 1. But now we're dealing with the implications of that and how rushed.
Well, and how that's
Shazam
set
family.
up too. Like, now you have in the comics, I thought it was each of them get one of his powers. In this, they all just have his powers. So I think that really even negates him further.
Correct.
From everything else.
And it was funny. So they're kind of like coming up with a plan to talk to the Daughters of Atlas once they take Freddy. They take Freddy at one point.
Gotcha.
He kind of the youngest god, who's Anne, he like befriends her at school, but she's there to track Freddy down because he's one of the superheroes, which they don't have a name, which absolutely fucking infuriates me. He gets named Shazam at the end of the movie, and he's like, he asked the wizard, he's like, well, what's my name? And he's like, Shazam, and he's like, I'm like, shut the fuck up! Are you kidding me? You needed him to tell you that.
But also, like,
are you fucking out of your mind?
The issue with
But there's also 7 of you, besides Mary Marvel, who has a fucking name.
Yeah. She's actually called Mary Marvel in the movie?
No.
Because
no.
they can't... Again, I don't understand how they can't just call him Captain Marvel. I know there was this whole big
I'm fine with him being,
in the comic books,
being Shazam, but what is everyone else?
He can't be Shazam. You know why? You know why, Gooch?
Why?
Because when someone... Ask me what my name is, and I'm Shazam.
What's your name?
Shazam! Oh, I'm a boy. I'm a little boy in front of you now because I just said my name. He can't tell anyone his name.
True.
That's what, like, you can't make his name Shazam when his magical power word is Shazam. But either way, I am just gonna... This movie... This is all Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's fault. I'm sorry.
I think most of this conversation, like when I was thinking about it after I saw it, I'm like, it's gonna be about the fucking drama that's coming out of it. It's not necessarily the movie. Like just getting back to the movie. Like I want to talk about the Dwayne stuff and the Zachary.
Yeah,
Levi
we'll get to
drama.
that near the end. Yeah,
but
not. And yeah, continue.
So like the movie's kind of rushed. Like we're jumping into the Shazam family when we don't really
the Shazamily, if you will.
We don't deserve the Shazam family yet. Like everyone's older. It's weird. I'm not buying this. And there's really no like. The movie is the plot of what's happening with the Daughters of Atlas, who I don't think Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren are bad, but like it's like, okay.
For the first 5 seconds I saw them, I was like, oh, I'm intrigued. And then that was
they
it.
were whatever. They were just whatever.
No.
So they're the Daughters of Atlas. So it's Calypso, Anthea, and I think because of an H, Helen Mirren.
Hera?
No.
Yeah, that's a real god, isn't it? Yeah, because these were made for the movie. These aren't real villains from the comic book.
I don't think so. But so there's a lot of Wonder Woman references too.
Well, because I guess she is connected to Greek mythology.
She's
heavily.
in this movie.
Yeah, I did
but
see
it's
that.
not Gal Gadot.
Yeah, it's like a face plate. It's
they stuck her face on some actress's.
So how does she
body.
show up?
So Shazam is having a dream. He's on a date with Wonder Woman, which is pretty funny.
That is funny.
And we're not seeing her face, but it's obviously Wonder Woman. She's wearing her Wonder Woman garb. And then it ends up being like the wizard is communicating to him. He's stuck in like their realm because he's the one who took their powers away with the staff.
Yeah.
And he's trying to communicate with Billy Batson, I guess,
through his dreams.
Right.
Because he dies in the first one. Yeah. Right? He turns to dust or whatever.
And they talk about that a lot. Yeah, and he's like, You're alive?
Yeah.
And and it's that actor's face on Wonder Woman's body, which is pretty funny. And it comes in, so that's the first time we see Wonder Woman.
That is a funny visual just in my head.
It is a funny visual.
Yeah.
And then she comes back at the end, but it's actually
Wonder Woman,
see her face, but it's apparently Gal talks.
Did you notice? Would you have known that it wasn't her face
No.
on? So they did a good job. Well, yeah.
But they, what's funny? They talk about the Superman cameo, but they never name him. And I don't think they say Wonder Woman's name either. But I could be wrong about that. But I was thinking about it. And I'm like, she's talking, Freddy's telling Anne about how he knows superheroes and he knows the
big guy.
They call them the Philadelphia Fiasco, which I was like, oh no. Who wrote this? Who fucking wrote this? And that he knows some of them. So he's trying to impress her. And he's like, yeah, I sat with some superheroes over here, but he never says Superman. Because he did. It was just.
He sat with Super fucking Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did want to say something. That costume. Mwah,
I don't like it. I need the bigger Thunderbolt.
It looks so good, especially compared to that old.
Thunderbolt's too small.
I disagree.
Thunderbolt's too small.
The thing that I really loved about it is that it.
Mary Marvel looks great.
She looks great.
She's so cute.
She's so cute. I liked how it was just Zachary Levi. He didn't have these insane muscle pads on and stuff like that. It looked great on him. He looked legitimately real.
I think, and it's funny. Mary does have some funny scenes. So she's older in college, and they're having a family meeting in the Rock of Eternity. They they create the base out of that. Mm-hmm. And she's hungover. She has sunglasses on, and she's kind of laying there.
Wouldn't that fix you though?
And then Shazam's like, Mary, something like that. And she's like, what?
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny, but I think this movie would have been better if they put the rest of the Shazam family, maybe besides Freddy, on the backseat and focused between the relationship between Billy, Mary, and Freddy, since they're the main three.
Yeah.
Especially Mary. Because I feel like they had some good points, and that actress has been making the circuits on media talking about how she would love to see her
Mary
as
Morrow,
the golden age versions of the characters, which really are the main versions of the Shazam family, is that golden age.
Yeah, I think so.
You don't really see the Shazam family out and about all that much at all. It's usually just Billy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, interesting. I'm like, she definitely did her homework, it seems.
No, yeah.
Yeah, but I think this movie would have benefited if maybe it had a more it doesn't focus on the real life at all. It doesn't go back to the parents. It kind of goes back to the fact that Billy is getting older and aging out because the government doesn't pay for Mary to live with her foster parents.
Yeah, she's just
and Billy is approaching that age. So it's not a coming to age, but it's he's getting older kind of thing. But again, it's oh well, full steam ahead on the plot with the daughters of
Zeus of Atlas.
The daughters of Atlas. There's really no time for any normal plot.
You know what this movie?
And I think that's why the first one worked. We had this.
It was about a child getting.
I'm a kid getting superpowers, but I also have this trauma from being an orphan and a mom, and the best scene of that movie is when he sees
his mom rejects him basically.
Yeah, and I'm that all that heart is not in this movie at all.
And it seems
it's just
I feel
this
bad.
Full stop. It's a family. This is a family superhero movie, and that's fine. Don't get me wrong, but I think they I think the writers kind of lost the sauce.
Well, but I also think that the entirety of everything was in so much flux at the studio for the past 2 years.
Right, and that
I
is
really
something
do
we're
genuinely
gonna talk about.
I do think affected it, and I think David F. Sandberg. I feel bad for him.
And he's like, I'm done.
He's like, this is just it's not worth it, and I get it. I would be the same
I
way.
mean, you know,
like
yeah.
it's at this point,
He
especially
probably put
by
up
this.
with a lot of bullshit.
Well, and just everyone coming out. I felt like there was just immediately from the ground up going from this. Just everyone was just
you know, it's not reviewing
going,
well.
and I
It's
do feel
bombing
like
at
they
the
were
box
also
office.
they were taking a lot of his stuff out of context and stuff like that, where he was clearly joking, and they were like, "Oh, David F. Sandberg blames the audience." So he's like, "No, like I was making a joke in a Reddit post." Like, do you not see like either way?
Yeah, this movie this movie is performing poorly too.
And I love that, and I think the first one is really good, and that makes me sad. And I like Zachary Levi a lot, but
Yeah,
this
I do
movie
too.
should have been. I mean, the first movie should have been him versus Black Adam. That's what the first
and
movie
again,
should have been.
like I'm curious. So like the Wonder Woman stuff is in there.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what else hit? Did something hit the cutting room floor? Like
There was absolutely a Superman cameo, I think, or I know he was talking about that they were desperately trying to get him in.
The Rock. Zachary Levi was trying to get The Rock in this movie.
No, and he was trying to get Superman. They were trying to get a Superman cameo too.
Yeah.
But The Rock, man. I'm sorry. Why did
his ego
just got he needed it to be about him.
Yeah.
He needed the movie to be
He needed Black Adam to just be Black Adam, not Black Adam versus Shazam.
They needed to Fast and Furious him. He needed to come in as the villain,
right? And
as the first one. He gets leveled by the real hero Shazam. He gets kind of knocked down a peg or two, and Shazam's like, "Listen, I'll leave you alone. Just stay in your like." I was gonna say stay in your country, but that sounds a little bad.
Stay in your fucking country, Black Adam.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, no, that's what that. And then this second movie should have been him facing a threat so tough that he needed to reactivate the Shazam family,
or maybe
And,
call
like,
upon
or
Black
call-
Adam. So they mention in this movie, explicitly reference it or mention, they don't have the wisdom of Solomon. They are missing part of it. They are missing a seventh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that supposed to be Black Adam? Who
I guess
is
that's the
the
idea.
wisdom
Yeah.
of the because you're right. Everyone had, when they turn into the Shazam family, they
They all
have
have one of the powers. Yeah.
Right. So that's what I was thinking. Because like Billy Batson's pretty fucking dumb. Like they all are. They're not very smart at all. And that's why they're called the Philadelphia Fiasco, which is ridiculous.
That's not one that Freddie makes up because I know he's
No,
just making
the
up
news
a ton
calls
of,
them that.
Okay, yeah.
And there, I like there's a ton of Philadelphia references. They obviously had to deal with the Phillies. There's a bunch of Phillies gear. There's a scene at Citizens Bank Park, which is cool, as you know, a Philadelphia-based podcast.
Absolutely.
They mention, so there's a giant dome that gets put around Philly, and they mention the Schuylkill, Cobb's Creek,
Right.
and City Line Avenue,
Fantastic.
like as the boundaries of where this
shit's
barrier
happening,
is.
yeah.
So the idea is like, you know, they want the staff so they can get their powers back. They get their powers back, and now Lucy Liu's character Calypso wants to kill humans. And the rest of the two aren't in on it, which is interesting because they don't agree with her, and they're kind of like letting it happen, and they're being like, Helen Mirren's character is like, you're out of line. I'm like, this is not like we got our powers back.
That's what we were looking for.
We got what
we need
to
the
get.
humans for whatever.
We can rebuild our realm, but like we shouldn't destroy this one. And they bury a golden apple. I think it's the Chaos Apple, and it like births this deformed tree that like spawns all these monsters, and that's kind of like the fluff enemies,
like the big bad guy, like at the end, like the big bad fight. At the end.
The dragon, which is actually looks really good. The CGI on it, it's like wooden. It's like
it looks good for the trailer.
Yeah, it's good in the movie,
Yeah.
For sure. But like that's one of the big bads they fight. Like Lucy Liu's flying on that thing. But again, like I just kind of like real quickly just told you the whole movie.
It
Like,
just washed all over. It just washed over you. You're saying, like, it
Yeah,
was
like-
it was
like,
just
it
was fine.
It's like, okay, like that happens. Freddy gets free. They go back to Earth. Now the Shazam family has to fight. Some of them lose their powers. They capture Helen Mirren. Just kidding. She gets away. They wanted to capture her. And now she's back. And now they're all back on Earth. And then, you know, Lucy Liu gets mad, kills Helen Mirren's character.
I think you could describe a lot of movies. I mean, I don't think this is any crazier from like better or worse than other plots that I could elaborate
But
on
there's
this.
no depth to it. It's very surface level.
Interesting.
There's almost no
Yeah.
depth to it.
There's not that more steep level of like what we were dealing with Billy's mother in the first
Right.
one.
I think
things
like
that.
the most growth is like the parents finally know as they come through the fucking house and the door, and they're like, running from the dragon, and they're like, we gotta go, and they're all like Shazammed up, and they're like in their bed, and they're like, what's going on? And then they
interesting.
they tell them. Billy dies at the end.
Really?
And gets resurrected.
Oh.
By Wonder Woman.
Huh.
She shows up in the end. They bury Billy. Billy sacrifices himself. So they use the staff. The staff is like a battery.
Yeah.
They find out. So like absorbs power. Obviously it gives and it takes. But like he like charges it up using his lightning while they make the dome smaller, and they're in Citizens Bank Park, and they're fighting in Citizens Bank Park. And he's like just casting lightning everywhere. So the bubble is kind of like taking in the power, and it's coming back into the staff.
Yeah.
So the staff is getting overpowered, and he sacrifices himself, and he dies. And then they take him to their realm to be like buried as a god, essentially. The realm that the
goddess
daughters are from. And I'm trying to remember how he gets resurrected. Wonder Woman has something to do with it, but because she has because they're saying like, is there a way he could be resurrected? And he's like, only the power of the gods. And then Wonder Woman shows up and then resurrects him. And they have like a conversation. It's pretty funny. He's like, he has like the hots for her. This is, and he's like, he's like, stick to saving the world, kid. And like, kind of like, like undermines him. But, so this is like right before the mid-credit scene too. So this isn't part of the mid-credit scene. This is part of the movie.
Gotcha.
And that's how it ends. And then he gets his name. The wizard looks fresh as shit. He comes into their house and he's like, yeah, I'm going to go finally
Gandalf.
Explore the world. I'm back. You guys
you're taking
responsible.
Care of it. Yeah.
I trust you. I'm going to go see the world. And then he goes, well, what's my name? And Shazam. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like absolutely like blowing my head off right now. And then the movie ends. Mid-credit scene. James Gunn's wife shows up with fucking what's his name? What's a Greek guy? Dyebeard. What's his real name?
Greek guy Dyebeard.
In Peacemaker.
Oh, Dyebeard. John Economic or Johnny Economics or whatever.
Yeah, him. Yeah. They show up. They're making contact with Shazam to recruit for the Justice Society. So, according to Zachary Levi, they did a scene with Hawkman and Cyclone to recruit him into the JSA. The Justice League also exists because he asked. He's like, "Wait, there's a Justice League and a Justice Society?" And she's Harcourt's like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Wait." Like you have two groups, and they're like this is Billy Batson.
Yeah.
You have two groups, and one is the Justice Society, and one's the Justice League. He's like, don't you think that's a little confusing? And he's like, well, the fact that they have literally two different names would indicate they are not the same thing. And they're having like a back and forth about it, and he's like, well, like I could have thought of a different name. One of them was like the Avenging Society. I'm like, oh.
No, that's
I'm like, like I feel like we're just like picking the bottom of the fucking bush here, or whatever whatever that fucking expression is.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. And then so it ends. Post-credit scene. Mr. Mime is back. Or not Mr. Mime.
Mr. Mind.
Mr. Mind. Yeah, thank you. Mr. Mind.
Mr. Mind.
Mr. Mind is back.
That's the caterpillar
with
man.
Savannah. Savannah has a beard. It's been 2 years. He's in prison. He's going crazy.
Right, I forgot about that.
So Savannah's been waiting for Mr. Mind to like enact a plan. He comes back and he's like, I've been working. And he's like, but I have one more thing. And then he leaves. And that's it. And I'm like, what? What the fuck was the point of that?
Again, because they don't know what they're doing. Like,
it's not going anywhere.
That's what I mean. They're just...
So like I'm curious like what the actual real Shazam sequel was supposed to be about, because Mr. Mind, was the end credit scene for that. And that's the fucking movie. It's
I'm sad.
Yeah, it's not much. It's just generic. Like it's
Sounds
like I literally just told you the whole plot of the film in like a few minutes.
I don't think that's crazy though. I don't think that's like I think that's like
But when
I get what you're saying though with the deepness though. Like in the way
the only like non-surface thing that I didn't talk about was Anne and Freddy's relationship and how they like each other, and she's a god and he's a disabled kid who is a superhero, and he always kind of like, like faking being cool and, being more than he is. And
Sure.
But he kind of like sticks up for her, and when they're going to school, like, the hot bully guys come and like, hey, sister, I'm gonna escort you to class, and he's like, nah.
Leave her alone.
Yeah. And and he like tries to stick up for her. He gets like thrown in the trash. Diedrich Bader is in the movie. Do you know who he is? No. He's a voice actor. He gets killed. If you heard his voice, you'd be like, yeah, I think I know him. He's actually Batman in The Brave and the Bold.
Oh, gotcha.
That's Diedrich Bader.
Interesting.
But yeah, besides them, no one else really has much character development at all. Honestly, Asher Roth, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
He is barely in the movie.
What, the kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. He's Shazam.
Yeah, but I don't know. There was no development with Shazam at all.
Well, and that's not good, yeah.
Besides him dying and coming back.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
And he's just acting.
It was disappointing in a character development.
He's acting exactly the same. Mary, the plots are there, the plot points are there, but not.
It's funny. I think
upon.
you can make a movie where the character doesn't necessarily grow and it's still great because it's more about the actual story that's being told. I think that's what they do very well with Captain America.
But
like he's a very no, I know exactly. That's what, I'm saying that can be done, but yeah, this sounds like they didn't do that. So
yeah, I'm trying to think of like there's anything else really to say. I mean, so Zachary Levi had like a 13-minute live, which was really interesting to listen to, and he's kind of defending the movie and giving all these excuses as to why it's not doing well. It's his movie. But telling you to go do it good, and I just want to be like, Zach, this is not your fucking fault. I'm sorry, you're the victim. Nah, maybe not victim. You're in the fallout of WB not having their shit together. Your movie is at ground zero. You're the first one out of the gate after the slate was announced. And at least The Flash has something to do with what's going to go on. But I think The Flash might suffer from this too, where it comes out and actors start talking and drama happens. And, it doesn't help that The Rock had a fucking ego about being Black Adam and then not really wanting to include
the
Shazam.
major, I guess.
Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And again, I'm talking to you, Zach, right fucking now. You're the victim of this, buddy. I feel bad for you. The performances were great. It's no one performed bad. No. It was the writing and the fact that WB has no idea what they're doing. I mean, look, they fucking filmed the whole movie and they canned it. It's Batgirl. You're never going to see that because WB doesn't have their shit together. It's not because it was a bad movie. We don't know that. Yeah.
I don't know.
So it's a shame to I don't recommend people go see it necessarily. There's no point. There's really no point.
But that's the problem we've gotten to with superhero movies.
And then he's talking about the Rotten Tomato scores, and I have to admit he's fucking right. How that score has us all by the balls.
No, it does. Well, but it's because it's such an easy baseline for a lot of people, and it's unfortunate because we've talked about our issues with Rotten Tomatoes and why I don't think it's the best thing. But I do think overall,
I'm looking up the Rotten Tomato score right now.
It's probably, I think it's like a 50 or something, 60 something. But
87 audience, I think it's a little high. 51.
Again, I've heard fine things from people. Like you're definitely giving it a low bar review for the reviews I've listened to. I've heard pretty good. I
haven't actually listened to anything.
I don't know. I've been hearing middle to good things for sure.
87. How the fuck is Batman v Superman lower than that? I don't know, guys. They were my whole theater.
Do you really not understand why?
I do.
Okay.
I just don't.
You don't like it. That's fair.
I just don't like it.
That's fair.
But
no, I think this is definitely a casualty of Dwayne The Rock Johnson's. This is DCU that he wanted, and WB. I'm not exculping WB, but because they gave him the power to do that apparently somehow. And then you're the main villain of this guy. You're the main villain. That's who this second, if not the first one, the second one should have been the Shazam family fighting Black Adam, and he takes all the Shazam family powers, and it's up to Billy to finish him off and to actually take it. But also they've already missed the trick of him looking really young because in this he already looks 16, 17.
Yeah, his name's not Asher.
No, I can't.
Who is Asher Roth?
That's a singer.
That's a rapper.
Yeah. I think it is Asher something though, right?
Asher Angel.
Asher Angel, yeah.
Yeah. He's aged out of the role.
But that's what I mean. You need
and that's another thing that sucks. All the kids are
they're older,
uncannily older.
Yeah.
And the only person who doesn't come back is Mary Marvel Mary is actually Mary Marvel as well.
Yeah,
Like,
because she's old, and it makes sense
she's
because
older.
she's that's what she'll look like.
She's like our age.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in real life.
Because that's the idea. I mean, yeah, you're the ideal version of yourself when you turn into your
AKA you're hot, which she is.
yeah, your peak physically, yeah. and whatever comes with that. But yeah, that's
so
sad.
funny. She seems to be. It's funny. I think she's getting more attention than Zachary Levi is. Like I see a lot of headlines about people talking about what she's saying about the movie, not about what Zachary Levi is saying about
disagree.
the movie.
I've been seeing very little about it. I saw the one thing about her saying like, I want to make a Mary Marvel movie, and I was like, shut up.
No, she was talking about like her wanting to do like more golden age stuff.
Yeah.
Like in like rather than not like I don't know, just like more golden age looks and like ideas. Because I mean, I get that's where like I said, that's where the Shazam family is from.
Absolutely.
So again, it sucks. This move, like I'm interested to see what happens to the Flash because of this. We have controversy around Ezra Miller. You know, is shit
Tom Cruise already loved it, Gooch. It's not changing. All right. I don't think cut wise. I think it's staying what it is now.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm interested to see what drama comes out when the movie actually comes out.
Maybe there is more to come out. Who knows? I really don't.
Because I didn't expect there to be drama with Shazam. I kind of expected it to come out and we were either gonna like it or not, and that was gonna be the end of it. But Zachary Levi, which he has every right to be defensive about.
And you're
character,
gonna defend your
it's
movie.
him.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny. It's funny how like any other movie, you know, not superhero related, people don't. I guess the actors don't really care maybe about their character or like being like connected to their character. Superheroes are much different.
Well, but I think they're it's so integral to what, like, I don't know, like. There's so much behind a lot of these superheroes compared to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you become a superhero, like you're
there's baggage with that.
Yeah.
Much more so if you're adapting an old book.
Baggage.
Yeah.
Like Chris Evans will forever be Captain America
for sure.
Even Tobey Maguire will forever be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Zachary Levi will forever be Shazam, and it sucks that his movie.
I don't know if you can put that in the same category.
But,
I don't. Unfortunately,
I mean, like Stephen Amell will always be the Green Arrow. Dude, I think you're wrong here.
I mean, to a certain generation, sure.
I mean, he was the first one to
but
play
like,
him.
If they ever do like a really, yeah, sure. But he's not like,
and that's we're here.
Sure,
we're not talking about other fucking people.
I hear
it's me and you.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like, you know, if they ever remake Shazam, and it's be like, damn, like, remember when Zachary Levi was Shazam? Like, you know,
don't you remember that? Did you ever watch the show?
He's in it.
One? Who?
The kid who plays Billy Batson in the show.
Oh, he is? Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's very obvious,
That's
too.
cool.
He's wearing the shirt.
And
it's
everything.
just red with the
yeah.
yellow cuffs. Yeah, he's in
That's funny. That's cool.
Yeah.
Apparently terrible show. But anyways, Gooch, anything else on Shazam? Fury of the Gods?
No. I mean, if you made it all the way through, I told you not to see it at the beginning, so I don't really think it's worth your time. Go see John Wick 4.
I'm sorry to hear that, and I probably still will see it.
When are you seeing John Wick?
Tomorrow night. I told you this. Monday night.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Gonna see it with
there's a lot of movies.
No, I know. Gonna see it with my roomie. Should be a lot. He's a big John Wick fan. I watched the third one. I watched the third one with my girlfriend on Friday.
Dude,
she hadn't seen it.
So
it's pretty good.
I'm in the movie. I'm with my dad, and I'm like, so they're having a dialogue, and I go, same time as John Wick. Yeah, like I fucking say it, like right on top of him. I'm like, yeah, like I knew exactly.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves speaks in those movies as if he doesn't know what his next word's going to be.
It's so funny.
It's so good. I love it.
Yeah, he has a few good yes.
He has I searched this on ChatGPT just because I was curious. He has 235 lines in that entire series. And there's 5,000 lines.
But dude, he puts a hell of a lot of time.
No. That's I agree. No, I think
the choreography makes
he
up.
speaks through his body. Genuinely, he doesn't need to. It's in a good way. It's just more interesting to me. Anywho,
yeah, it was it.
Thanks all for watching with us live. If you've been with us on twitch.tv/Duck Nerd Network, we really appreciate you. You can find this podcast anywhere podcasts are found. Just search Duck Nerd Network. We're on all your favorite social media pages as well. At Delco Nerds on basically everything. You can find our Discord channel, our Facebook page, link down below. You can email us all your comments, questions, or concerns. DelcoNerds@gmail.com. We'd be happy to get back to you. You can find all this information on our website, DelcoNerdNetwork.com. For Gooch, I've been Trio. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you next time.